see. So go ahead and meet me standing on that mat and just reach those hands up overhead for me. Take a big inhale, exhale, reach up towards that ceiling, and then go ahead and dive your hands down to the mat. Reach for those toes and just hang there nice and heavy for a second, taking that big inhale here. And then as you exhale, you'll slowly start to restack that spine, reaching up towards that ceiling. A little bit of a cardio circuit to get us warm, so I'm going to move quickly through it, but really basic changes. Dive those hands down one more time, bringing them all the way down towards those toes. Big inhale as you exhale, reach 1 inch further down towards that mat, and then you're slowly going to go ahead and restack all the way up to the top. Big roll of your shoulders to the back of the room for me. Yay, good morning, other Queenie. And to the front of that room. Perfect. You're going to open those feet up. Heels will be on the mat. Toes will be also a little bit wider than hips width distance. We're going to go into body weight squats to start. Big squeeze at the top. There's 3 changes. We're going to run through it 2 times just in these squats, getting everything nice and warm. So I want you to sink that booty down and then give me a big squeeze at the top, keeping those shoulders relaxed, knowing that you're in the warm-up. It's your first time through it, so you're likely not going to go as deep as you normally would. So as you sink into that squat, think about the weight in your heels, pressing those knees back, keeping that chest nice and proud here for me. What I want you to do is hold at the bottom for me in 10 seconds. So really big full range. I want you to squeeze your glutes at the top for me. You're going to give me 2 more, then you're just going to hold at the bottom in 5, 4, 3, and 2. Hold for me right at the bottom. You can either press palms together. You can reach those hands out in front of you, whatever feels most comfortable. I want you to just think, can I sink 1 inch lower? You're going to start to pulse for me in 10 seconds. Don't stand up. I want you to fight a little bit to stay warm right here. In 5 seconds, you start to pulse. In 4, in 3, in 2, now pulse down 1 inch and up 1 inch. Here's where you got to fight to stay low. You're going to want to stand up. Don't do it. Down 1 inch and up 1 inch. Down 1 inch and up 1 inch. Perfect. 10 here, 9, good, 8. It's that 30 seconds first change, 15, and then 15. You're right there. You're back to full range for me in 5. Don't take the break. In 4, full range. In 3, in 2, stand all the way up. It's going to feel good. And then sink right back down into your squats. Don't take the break. Let heart rate start to come up here just a little. You don't have to be repping these out like you're rushing to something, but I want you to have that sense of urgency that you're moving through the warm up the entire time. Big lift and squeeze. Sink right back down. Big lift and squeeze. When you get to the top of that range, I want you to squeeze your butt as tight as you can. Give yourself those little dimples, that ugly butt, like we all call it. And then I want you to think about sinking back down, knees press open. You've got 10 seconds to go. You're in your second hold. The hold comes before the pulses. Just challenge you a little bit more right here. You hold at the bottom in 5, 4, good, 3, and 2. Hold at the bottom of that range and freeze right here. Freeze, 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 freeze. Get low. Hold. Big inhale. As you exhale, you're driving the weight into your heels. Toes should be able to lift. Relax your shoulders. Stay in the hold. You still have 10 seconds. I know you can do it. Here's where you really start to squeeze those cheeks, pressing knees back, pressing through those heels. Now let's start to pulse. Down 1 inch and up 1 inch. I know you want to stand. Don't do it yet. I know that you can give me 10 more pulses. I need you to squeeze and release. Squeeze and release for 7. Good. In 6, you get to stand. 5, and you stand. 4 and 3, last 2, stand all the way up for me. Bring those feet about hips width distance apart. Bring your hands behind your head and hit those good morning stretches. Take your time here. Legs are going to get warm. Lowering down on that 2 count, lift up and squeeze. So your hips, you know, they lead this motion. And as your hips go to the back of the room, your chest folds forward. So really think to yourself in this good morning, we're in that warm up. We just have 2 more changes here before we get started. I want you to think, can I hinge those hips and bring that chest forward just enough to find the stretch in the back of those legs? Don't pull on that head. 15 seconds left right here. Take your time in it. You're going to meet me at the back of that mat. You're going to give me that inchworm walk out. So you're going to walk out to the top of that mat into that plank. You're going to give me 1 push-up, and then you're going to walk your hands back in 3, in 2, come to the back of that mat for me. Dive your hands all the way down. Walk yourself out into your plank. Give me 1 push-up. Reset into that plank. Lift your hips as you walk your hands back in. I want you to roll all the way back up to the top and then reach those hands back down. It's 30 seconds. I'd like you to get 4 to 5 in, but if you only get 3, that's okay too. So I want you to inchworm yourself out into your plank. Give me one really strong push-up. You reset, and then you're gonna lift your hips. Try to keep those legs a little bit straighter so you can feel the stretch in the back of them. You stand all the way up. 15 seconds here. So I think everyone's gonna hit that 4. In 10 seconds, I want you to hold in your plank. Don't worry about your computers because you're gonna stand after this. It's that last little bit. You're gonna meet me in a forearm plank. Last change in your warm up in 5, in 4, wherever you are, I need one more push up. 3 and 2, find your forearm plank for me. Find your forearm plank. I'm fine if you want to give me one more push up right there at the bottom. Beautiful. And then walk onto those forearms. It's the shortest time that you're going to be here in class today, so don't stress. You only have 20 seconds left. What I want you to think about is, can you zip up those inner thighs for me while you're here for this last little bit? Press into that mat. Full body should be warm for me here. We're out of that warm up after this. You are going to meet me standing. We're going to walk back up to your hands in 5 seconds, and then you're going to lift your hips up. So open those feet apart. Everybody walk to those hands and go ahead and lift those hips up, starting to pedal out those knees. You're really just finishing up that warm up here. Walk your hands to your feet to your hands, and then you're going to slowly roll yourself all the way back up to the top. Give me a big roll of your shoulders to the back of that room. Big roll of your shoulders to the front of that room. And then you're going to grab your light weights for me. We start in your arms. Full body should be warm from that nice little warm up. Once you have those weights, they come right down to your side. We'll build a little bit on Tuesday. I want you to take that big inhale again. I want you to contract your abs for me. Soften the bend in your knees. Turn your palms towards me. You're going to go ahead and go into that nice little bicep curl right here. But what I want you to think about is those weights are light. So every time that you squeeze your triceps at the bottom, you're then transitioning that contraction into your biceps. Excuse me. Hello. So really just in that regular bicep curl, what I want you to think about is your knees staying bent, and I want you to pretend like you're pulling through mud through water. For most of you, you're like, okay, I have a much heavier weight here. So can you just start to weight everything up right here? Meet me at that 90-degree angle in 5, in 4, final 3, and 2. Meet me at that 90-degree angle. You're going to reach your hands, turn your palms to the floor, then pull those palms back in. Reach and press, and then pull hands back in. So as you reach, palms face the floor, and then palms face that ceiling as you bring them right back to your waist. So what I want you to think about here is the rotation happening as those palms face the floor, you pull them back in. Some of you might go faster than others. Think about the contraction in your abs as you press and pull. You're going to leave those hands out. We're going to go into those front raises in 10, in 9, good, 8 and 7, just that little up an inch, down an inch, in 5, 4, good, 3 and 2. Leave those palms down. It's just down an inch and up an inch, down an inch and up an inch right here, good. Every time that those arms drop down, think about, can I reach them any longer? Can I pull those shoulder blades down my back? Am I contracting through that core? 8 and 7, good, 6 and 5, good, 4 and 3. We're going to combo everything in 2. Hold for me on 1. You're going to bring those palms back in. You give me one of those bicep curls. Reach your hands out, and then 3 pulses before you reset. Pull hands in. You give me one bicep curl. You reach arms out. 3 and 2. Last one, pull it in. So 1 full range curl. Punch those arms out. Then you give me those 3 pulses where you're really dropping down an inch and up an inch so that those arms don't go above those shoulders. Nice and warm right here. Squeeze that weight. Lower, squeeze, punch. 3 and 2 and 1. Pull it in. 2 to go right here. Think 3 and 2 on 1. Last one. Big reach and squeeze. Reach it. 3, 2. Now hold for me right where you are. Hold. Open those arms out into your teeth. Now start to circle towards that front of that room. I want you to control that squeeze and that circle. Notice my arms are right in front of my shoulders. You don't have to bring them behind. Bring them right in front and just circle. Let that shoulder start to get nice and tired. Control the movement. You're just tracing an apple or an orange. Go ahead and reverse that circle. Good. Tiny and controlled. The next little curl you've got in those biceps is going to be up nice and high. So those elbows stay high. Can you walk those arms in 1 more inch? So notice you're now in that V position. Palms face up. And now give me that high bicep curl. Reach and pull. Good. Reach and pull. thinking to yourself, you're not necessarily bringing that hand all the way to your shoulder. I want you to contract your abs. Exhale, squeeze that core. Inhale, release. So we pull and we press right here for 10, 9, 8, and 7. Final 6. You hold it out for me in 5. Last 4. Good. 3 and 2. On this last one, hold it out. Elbows come in, elbows reach out. Elbows come in, they reach and press. Pull it in, reach and press. You're in those biceps, keep them strong. Pull in and you extend. Here for 10, 9, 8, pulses out in 7, in 6, keep moving. 5 and 4, let them get tired. 3 and 2 on that last one. Out 1 inch and in 1 inch. It's out and in a little bit, picking up that pace. Go 10, 9, 8, 7, perfect. 6 and 5. We hold in 4, we hold in 3. Last 2, 1, freeze. Take a big inhale, squeeze the weights as tight as you can, contract that bicep, weights come back down to your side. You're gonna reach them towards your feet. You're going into your second set of push-ups after that warm-up. So first real set in 3, go ahead and bring those weights down. For 2, reach those weights down to the floor, release them, step right foot back, step left foot back, 2 count down, 2 count up in your push-ups, 30 seconds, your time's already started, so get into it. Down for that 2 count, exhale, press away, control this movement. You're only gonna get about 4, 5, 6 in. Lower down, exhale, press away, contracting your abs. You're in a forearm plank. Today, that theme is push-ups, plank, really to fire up those shoulders. All I need is 10 seconds from you. So exhale as you press away, inhale as you lower. You're in your plank, forearm plank in 3, forearm plank in 2, second forearm plank. Now go ahead and spread those fingertips out. Your challenge is now to bring your feet and knees and inner thighs together, squeezing for me, relaxing your shoulders. First hold of class was 30 seconds. This one is 40. Take the big inhale here for me. When you exhale, belly button is pulling in towards your spine. Inner thighs are squeezing together. I need you to breathe. Don't drop. I know shoulders are talking to you. Walk up to your hands. You're going to go ahead and find that downward dog, reaching for those weights, standing up nice and tall in 5. Walk up to your hands for me. 4. Hold there in 3. Now lift your hips all the way up in 1 and start to walk hands to your feet, feet towards your hands. You're going to grab those weights for me. Stand up nice and tall. We're going into your triceps. Take your time standing up. I'm going to move through it quickly, but you need to slow down. That's fine. Weights are going to face your palms. You're going to reach down as if you're going into that deadlift or that row. Palms face each other. You row, tricep extension, pull arms back in, release them. Similar to Tuesday, pull everything in, full extension, bend, reach, pull, extend, bend and reach. I need you to keep your core pulled in here and your back nice and flat. It's 1 row, 1 tricep extension. You are alternating in your tricep extension on Tuesday. Now you're just extending both arms back, and then you give me that big reach. When you pull your elbows in, you've got to squeeze your shoulder blades. Take your time, 15 seconds to go. These are big movements. You could use much heavier weights. So I need you to think about where you're squeezing, where you're controlling that breath. In 5 seconds, you're going to stay at the top. You have pulses in those triceps. In 3, in 2, extend. Pinkies are up an inch and down an inch, up an inch and down an inch. How tight can you squeeze your triceps? How tight can you squeeze those triceps? Good. 10, 9, palms are going to turn to face the ceiling. In 5, you've got a little bend and extend. In 4, 3, 2, hold on 1, palms face the ceiling, bend and extend. Bend and extend. You squeeze that tricep with everything that you have. You're back to your nice tricep extension into that row. In 5, 4, palms face the midline. In 3, in 2, now turn your palms towards each other. You give me that nice extension and then that row. Kick back, bend and extend. Kick back, full extension, bend, reach towards that floor. 15 seconds right here. All you have is a hold left in those triceps. Second set of push-ups and you're out of it. We go into our legs. Really breathing through this. If you don't squeeze your triceps on the kickback, you will not feel this. Do not cheat yourself because you're not here long. In 5 seconds, you're in a hold. I want palms to face the ceiling, arms up nice and tall and long and strong. In 3, 2, 1, extend your arms, turn your palms towards that ceiling. If you have weights, you squeeze those weights. I need you to bend your knees. Get those arms up there, 1 inch higher. Those arms
should almost be parallel to that mat. Your belly is pulled in, your knees are bent. Even if you need to, you hover those heels to bring it into those thighs, but you reach those arms as long and strong as you can. Longest hold of the day right here in triceps. I need 10 more seconds. Where are you looking? Look 3 feet in front of you. Yes, core, don't you drop them. 8, 7, 6, and 5. Final 4, stand up nice and tall. And 3, 2, stand up nice and tall. Reach those weights right back to your feet. Second set of push-ups, hand release push-ups. You start in 3, get down there in 2. Here goes that time. I want a hand release push-up. You know what you're working on here. You can come down on a 2 count, release, squeeze shoulder blades, exhale, press up. You can do these elevated, you can do these on the mat, but I need you working, even if you need to just hold that plank. Inhale as you lower, release those hands, and then exhale, press yourself all the way back up. You've got this. Big inhale, big exhale here for me. Big inhale, we go into legs next. 10 seconds and you're in that forearm plank, and then we get a break in our arms. You've had that nice little 10-minute work in them, and you should feel nice and strong. I need you in a forearm plank in 5, 4, and 3, forearm plank in 2, 1, hold. Here's that forearm plank. 30 seconds, 40 seconds, now you've got 50. We're just building on the time that you're there. Spread your fingertips out. You're gonna want the break. You just had push-ups. Can you hold on to this? Can you ignore what your mind is telling you? Squeeze those inner thighs. Think about lifting your tailbone up a centimeter and finding the tuck under to really engage lower abs for me. 20 seconds to go, which means you're right there. I need you to breathe. You have this. Every time you think you want to open those feet or drop those knees down, I want you to take a bigger inhale and exhale, contract your abs. 10 seconds for me. You are going to be in that downward dog in 9 and 8. Start walking up to your hands when you are ready. 5 seconds to go, downward dog in 4, 3, 2, find that stretch. Start to pedal out your knees for me. Start to pedal out those knees. Walk your hands in towards your feet. You can grab those weights as you slowly roll yourself all the way up to the top. I'm going to have you keep your weights in your hand as the extra challenge. Ditch them when you need to. This is about your legs, not your arms. I'm just giving you that extra challenge. Right side only here, right side only. You start here with a curtsy lunge and a knee lift. So what I want you to think about, as weights are at your side, or weights can come into that prayer position. You drop right knee behind left ankle, you squeeze left cheek, you lift up that right toe. So you drop that knee down, lift and squeeze, find that extension. It's slow. My girls who have your Balas on, think about really squeezing from your glute. I don't want this to come into your hip flexor. Lower abs help you to lift that knee up. Drive through your front heel. I know we're going to take this nice and slow. If you want to start to pick up the pace a hair, you can. You tap knee down, lift and squeeze. Tap knee down, lift and squeeze. Notice we're pointing through that toe as we lift up. You've got this. I need you to give me 20 more seconds in these. You're going into pulses at the bottom of your range. It's my least favorite change, but we're going to get it out of the way. All of these changes are about 30 seconds. There's 5 on the right, 5 on the left. You've got this. In 10 seconds, I need you holding. It's up an inch and down an inch. Anyone with any knee issues, you stay up a little bit higher. Nice on that lift where you've got 5, 4, hold at the bottom in 3, in 2. Everybody meet me at the bottom of your range, down an inch, up an inch. Can you fight to get 1 inch lower? Notice I have a small hinge here. I'm not sitting exactly upright. I'm hinging a little bit at my hip to keep it in that front leg. Drive through that heel. The pulses are the worst part. 20 seconds to go. I need you to stay low like that. Shoulders look great, Kathleen. It's that inch squeeze, squeeze, release, squeeze, release. You've got this. In 10 seconds, you get to stand and put your feet together. There's no hold in that change. You've got 5, 4, hold on to it for 3 and 2. Bring that foot all the way up, stand up nice and tall for me right here. Take that left foot. It's going to come high. We're staying again on that right side. Bring that left heel right, or toes right in line with that right heel. Go into your staggered deadlift. All right side still. So I want you to think as you go ahead and drive those weights down towards that mat. You're shifting in that weight, hinging at the hip, just like you did in that warm-up. You've got it. I should have kept you on your left side. I cued you wrong, but we'll just go back onto that other leg in a second. 15 seconds in the staggered deadlift. It's okay. We're still working your legs. We're still working your core. You're fine. You're opening up into a wide sumo squat next, just so you know where you are. You have 10 seconds here. You are going to go not into a second position. It's a wide squat stance here, just so you know. In 5 seconds, we open up nice and wide. In 4, I don't care which direction you face. In 3, in 2, on 1, I want you to open those feet nice and wide, almost like it looks like you're going into a second position. Now turn your heels in and your toes out. From here, I want you to sink all the way to the bottom of that squat. Now lift your right heel. You're gonna stand up, sink your booty back. It feels almost like a second position, but you're hinging forward. I need that right heel as high as you can get it. As you lift up, squeeze, you lower down. So this is okay for your chest to come forward. It's not a second position, but you're in that wide sumo squat. Those weights are reaching down towards that floor. Your heel is high. You have 1 change left on this side before we go into that left side. It's pulses at the bottom. Don't start to roll that chest forward. I don't want you rolling through that back. You're still keeping that chest lifted. You're just in a wide squat. Hold at the bottom in 3, 2, hold at the bottom right here, little pulses. Up an inch and down an inch. I need that right heel high. Up an inch and down an inch. Up an inch and down an inch. That right side should be on fire. I need 15 seconds and you stand and shake it out. You're there. Pulse all the way down an inch and up an inch. 10 and 9. You've got 8, 7. You stand. 6 and 5. Final 4, 3, 2, stand. Give those legs a little punch. If you need to set your weights down and roll out your wrists, you can. In 10 seconds, though, we go. So take a sip of water if you need it. Big movements, don't worry. We're going into some tiny movements next. That opposite leg, so left leg is what's moving now. It's going to come behind that left knee behind right ankle, and you lift that leg up. Grab your weights. Here we go in 3, in 2. Tap that left knee down. Lift and squeeze. That knee does not have to tap that mat. I just want you to make sure it's getting nice and low and you find that range of motion for me as you lift and as you squeeze. I know you know how to do a curtsy lunge, but because we're going slow, I know we have weights in our hands. Heart rate's going to come up here a little. You take that left knee, you bring it right behind that right ankle, and then you have to drive through that right heel to lift that knee up with control. When you get to that knee to the top, you squeeze right cheek as tight as you can. Use your lower abs to keep that leg up there. 15 seconds to go, we're in those pulses. I don't know about you, but that's my least favorite change as I was doing this yesterday. And I want you to think about the pulses, low controlled squeezes. Can you meet me at the bottom in 5? Get 1 to 2 more in 3, in 2. Go ahead, everyone give me 1 more knee lift because it looks like we're in sync. Now drop down, give me those pulses. Here we go. Down an inch and up an inch. Watch your stance here. Your knee is right behind that ankle. You're finding that slight hinge forward. Nice, Ames, those look great. That hinge forward just to protect that lower back, and now bringing weight into that front leg, drive through that heel. Only 10 seconds left in your pulses. Don't give up on them. 10 and 9. You know, feet come together. We're going to find that staggered deadlift, which means opposite foot. You're on the ball of that foot. Heel is down. 3. You stand in 2, all the way up on 1. Now take that those right toes, bring them right behind that left ankle. You're going to hinge at your hip, and then you're going to lift up, squeeze. I know most of you could do these single, but I want you to really feel that stretch and not worry about your balance. Reach those weights to about mid-shin, lift and squeeze. Weights come down, you hinge at your hips, and then you lift up and you squeeze at the top. 15 seconds right here. Big movements, I know. As we transition down to the mat, you are going to move your computers just so everyone knows at the end of this, we've got 1 change to get before we get you down there. Everyone, you're going to meet me standing wide sumo squat in 5 and 4, last 3 and 2. Stand all the way up, open feet apart as if you were going into your second position. You're going to sink down, booty comes back, lift left heel all the way up. I like to lift that heel once I get to the bottom so I can feel what my range is. Lower down, lift and squeeze. Weights can just reach towards the floor. You can have them in prayer. It's just that extra challenge for this advanced group. I need you to squeeze with everything that you have. Sportsmith, open legs up just a couple more inches for me, unless your inner thighs are bothering you, but I just want to go into those inner thighs a hint more. Thank you. Perfect. Everyone, 10 seconds here. You're pulsing at the bottom in 8, in 7, Yes, and it's nice flexibility there. Hips look like they are not tight. Looks nothing like when I do it. 4, 3, 2. Everybody at the bottom, heels lifted. Find those pulses. Find those pulses. Drive that booty back. Final 20 seconds of work right here. You're going to stand all the way up in time to move those computers, and we're going to get ready to go into some tiny changes after this. Everybody, 10, 9, stay pulsing. 8 and 7, you've got 6. You're going to stand up nice and tall for me in 5, in 4, stand in 3, stand in 2, everyone all the way up. Keep those weights, open weights right up to the side, hold. Last little change before I bring you down to that mat. All you're doing is holding your weights into your T. Legs are tired right here. I know they need a hint of a break. Can you give me that extra challenge and go into your calf raises with slow controlled movements? Lift for 2, lower for 2, slower than I just did. Lift for 2, lower for 2. Keep those arms out there nice and wide. Think about where you're contracting. Take the big inhale. As you exhale to lift those heels, contract those abs like I was gonna come and punch you in that belly. Reach your arms as long and strong as you can. It's like that full body movement, like when you're in a farmer's carry and you're holding those really heavy weights at your side. I still need 30 seconds from you. I want you to keep reaching those arms. I want you to keep your shoulders relaxed, and I want you to give me the biggest heel lift that you can, and then you lower them, less than 20 to go. This is bringing heart rate back down, but it's also just really fighting right here to keep those arms long and strong. In 10 seconds, you drop it down, you take a sip of water, we take that little bit of a stretch. In 8 and 7, hold on to it. 6, don't you drop those arms down. 5, keep reaching them. 4 and 3, final 2, arms come all the way down. You can set those weights down on the mat so that you have access to them. And then you're going to move those computers for me, and we are going to meet at the back of our mat. Don't just sit down, even though wouldn't that be nice? We're going into third set of push-ups and that third plank. Dive hands down to your mat, walk yourself out into that push-up position. You are welcome to drop to the meaty part of your knees. It's a 2 count down, 2 count up, right into a hand release push-up. So the hand release is fast, the 2 count down is a little bit slower. What I want you to think about in this movement, just move this back because I just know you want to see my face too. Can you think about the inhale and the exhale here? Inhale as you lower down, exhale, press away, contract and squeeze everything, and then give me that hand release push-up. You're going into a forearm plank after this. I want you to breathe through it. You're going to be on your back for some abs before we finish out those legs. You're doing great. You've only got about 12 minutes left, 10 minutes left of class. So you're flying through it. Oh, don't stop those push-ups yet. I see you, I see you, I see you. One more of each, and then everybody meets me in a forearm plank. Forearm plank in 3, forearm plank in 2. Here it is. Find it. If you need to take a quick stretch and listen to your body. If not, I need you to show me how strong you are, squeezing those inner thighs together, lifting those glutes a hair just to find that tuck under. You've got to press that mat away from you. If you feel like you need to take the break, your first step is to open those feet up. Your second step is to drop to those knees. No downward dogs in here because you have this. 30 seconds to go. Everyone is breathing here. You went from 30, 40, 50. Here's your minute hold. You get to find a child's pose after this. So fight for the child's pose, earn the child's pose, breathe through this plank. You can do this. Everyone find your breath. Ignore what your mind is telling you. When you exhale, I need you to pull your belly button to your spine. Keep pressing into that mat. Final 10 seconds. You made it. Do not drop. 9, 8, child's pose is going to feel good. You're going to open those knees, press your seat back to your heels in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you made it. Rest. Everybody press back, open knees up nice and wide. Really think about pressing that seat back towards those heels. We're going into a couple minutes of abs right here. If you tend to go into your hip flexors, ditch those Balas for me and take a break for them. If you don't, that is just so lucky for you. So from here, I want you to go ahead and lay all the way down for me. Your feet are going to come flat. Your legs are going to come long and strong and flat. I want you to take those hands and reach them up towards that ceiling. You're going into your alternating V up to start. Point through those toes. Exhale, lift left leg. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, right, and then lower with control. So every time you lift up, I want this group to really think, can I keep my legs straight? You've been doing these with me for a while. I know how strong you are. As you fatigue, you bend your knee and I'm okay with it. But I always want you to fight for those first couple with that leg straight as you lift all the way up and lower back down. Shoulders look great, Kathleen. Big lift and squeeze, and we lower with control. 10 seconds left right here, friends. Knees come into a tabletop position in 8 and 7. Stay in your V up, nice pace. Exhale, lift and reach. Inhale, lower down with control. One more to that last side, and then you're gonna meet me in tabletop right here. Hands are reaching towards that ceiling. Take a big inhale here. Exhale, reach those hands towards those ankles. You extend everything towards opposite sides of the room, and then you reach towards those ankles again. Everything goes into opposition, and then you reach towards those ankles. Full extension. Back has to press into that mat. If that's too much, just keep reaching toward those knees and tabletop and give yourself those pulses. You've got 10 and 9. Yes, you can. If it's too much, just reach toward those ankles and pulse up. I'm fine with that too. If not, full extension and that reach for 3. For 2 on 1, go ahead and lower head, neck, and shoulders. Keep legs at tabletop, hands behind your head. That was your break. Take an exhale, go into your bicycles. Twist, 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 and twist for me. Here's what I need you to think about. Your knee has to tap that elbow or get that elbow right past that knee. Find that twist. I know you can do it. So what I want you to think about right here in this movement is every time you twist, you crunch up just a hint higher for me. You have it. 10 seconds in your bicycle, tiny little bit of a rest where you're lowering head, neck, and shoulders. In 5, we've got toe taps coming up in 4. In 3, lower head, neck, and shoulders. In 2, take that little break. Lower head, neck, and shoulders. Extend toes up towards the ceiling and then give me that reach. Tap those ankles. Tap those toes. Tuck that tailbone under. Let your abs be on fire. You only have 1 change left right here. Big inhale, exhale. Reach. Yes. Keep reaching. Keep reaching. 8 seconds. 7 seconds. You're there. 6. You're going to roll all the way up, bring knees into your chest in 5, 4, 3, and 2. Knees come into your chest. Rock yourself up. Russian twist to finish it out. I did cue you to have your weights. If you want them, they can come together. Tuck, 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 that tailbone. And then I want you to think, can my elbows tap that mat? Can I reach from side to side, finding that pinch, tucking that tailbone under, really finding everything that I've been working towards and keeping those abs nice and warm for me. You're there. I want you to keep fighting for 10 more seconds. You're going to be in an all 4 position after this. You're there in 5, in 4, keep twisting, keep squeezing. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1, sit all the way up. Weights come to your side. Find that Indian style position. Hands come through center. Everyone needs to be in that quadruped position, and you're going to drop that belly button down, looking up to see where that ceiling meets the wall. Exhale, tuck that tailbone under. Good. Inhale, lower down. And then exhale, lift all the way up for me. Good. You're going to walk right down to those forearms here. Option to stick Balas back on. You got that weight next to you. Just keep it there. From here, I want you to flex your foot. Stay on your forearms for me. Bring that left hand to your right elbow and then lift that right hand up. You're going to go into that clamshell, full extension of that leg, bend that knee and lower. Lift into your clamshell, extend that knee, bend, and lower here. I want you to think full clam, squeeze outer thigh, extend that leg, bend it back and lower. You're going to feel this fairly quickly. Know that you're coming right to the end of that series. So I want you to think about both cheeks getting nice and warm. You lift into your clamshell, full extension. Bring that knee back in and you lower. You have 20 seconds left right here. Stay in it. 20 seconds left. Good. Final bit of work. Lift into your clamshell, full extension of that leg, bend it, and then lower it back in. You're going to keep that leg lowered in 5. Last one right here. 4, full extension. 3 and 2, bring that leg back in. Come to both forearms, find that forearm plank, hold. This time you walk your feet out, out, in, out, in. Walk out, in. Fight for those abs and legs. It's out, out, in, out, out, in, go 10 and 9, don't stop, it's 8 and 7, other side, and 6, good, and 5, you rest, knees come down, 4 and 3, final 2, bend those knees and rest. Take that right hand, we're moving quickly, right hand comes to left elbow, left hand comes down. Flex your foot, clamshell, full extension, bend that leg and lower. Squeeze that outer thigh, full extension, bend that knee and lower. You're working your obliques here, you're working your glutes, you're working your core, full body, and that stretch of that leg is so important. You have that movement, make it 2 movements though, lift, extend, bend and lower. Don't cheat yourself and try to rush through it. You're right at the end of the class, so I want you to hold on to it. Give me 2 more, and then you meet me in that forearm plank. In 5, in 4, good, in 3, in 2, final big extension, bring those feet back down underneath of you, go ahead and come to your forearms, and then you're gonna walk your feet back, open your feet apart, you lift up for 2, lower down for 2, lift it up to that plank, lower down for 2, full body at the end of this class, full body, you're coming right to the end of it, you got a minute and a half of work left, you're there, down for 2, lift and you squeeze, child's pose here in 5, 4, rest in 3, rest in 2, 1, rest. 10 seconds here. You go straight through for a minute and 10 seconds when we come back up, and you are going to work as hard as you can not to take a rest. Find that child's pose. In 5 seconds, you're in that high plank. In 3, in 2, find a high plank for me. Open up your feet, go into your shoulder taps, go into your shoulder taps. Yes. Control the tap, control the tap. Here's your 1 minute mark. Find your shoulder taps. 5, 4, 3, give me 3 push-ups, and 2, give me 3 push-ups right here. Drop to your knees if you need to. I want 3 push-ups. Yes, you can. On that 3rd push-up, right back to your shoulder taps. I don't care if you drop to your knees for the shoulder taps, but stay in it. Core and those shoulders working. Yes. Tap 5. Tap 4, I need 3 more push-ups. It's your last 3 push-ups. And 2, give me your last 3 push-ups right here. 20 seconds of work. Do not cheat yourself. You can do this. You're in a forearm plank to finish it out after those 3 push-ups. 3, good. Finish them. 2, forearm planks around every room. Forearm planks around every room. Here's that last little bit. Last little bit. Heart rate is up. I know. You have this. When you drop off here, you're going to find a child's pose. You can't give me any dirty looks. I won't even know what those faces look like at the end of this. Breathe for me. You're there. You're there.